Hello, my name is Lonnie Paul. I play guitar for Adler.
Hello, my name is Jacob Bunton. I sing for Adler.
And I'm Johnny Martin. I play bass for Adler.
Baby, I'm too young to know any better, but I guess I'm just too old to care. I'm waiting on the morning light to clear the air.
Yeah, it's interesting because I grew up, like I said, listening to rock. I always loved rock, and it was the bands that were on MTV and Circus Magazine and Hit Parader and Metal Edge that, they looked like the superheroes in my comic books, and I just thought that was cool. I remember being a little kid and seeing, Nikki Sixx and seeing the guys in Poison, and of course seeing Kiss. Ours, we call them in Alabama, Knights in Satan's Service. And they literally look like, superheroes, and I really gravitated towards that. So I grew up on rock music, and by the time, I did Mars Electric, we were a rock band. We all had really long hair. When we got our record deal, the first record deal that we got was with Atlantic, and the biggest bands on the planet at that time were bands like Matchbox 20, and that whole 90s, mid 90s sound, and so there was an expectation from the label to look the part as well as play the part or whatever. We were a rock band, but we, in Mars Electric, we sounded more like, Urge Overkill meets the Lemonheads, and which were both rock bands, pop bands that I liked. And and then after that, like I said, I've always played rock. After Mars Electric was over, did Lynam and just full on big huge rock shows and rock and roll records, and and then this isn't very far of a departure at all from Lynam.
Right.
It's
like coming home.
yeah, just good rock tunes. It's interesting because not only do we like rock, but me and this guy here, we share a love of Duran Duran. This guy here, one of his favorite artists of all time is Prince. It's like, so it's
Super Bowl songs.
it's
In the rain.
In the rain.
our influences are all over the place, and obviously me being from Alabama, I love bluegrass, I love country, and we our influences are definitely all over the place in this band, and we all bring that element to the songwriting and to the live shows and everything.
Well, yes, I do pick him up in the morning. Lately he's been driving himself, but we work out right in my garage right here. And as far as getting along and how that's influenced the record, I assume, that you were talking about.
Yeah.
When we first met with Jacob, at least Stephen and I, we talked about being extremely honest with each other, that we wanted to leave the room with a hit song and not just our ego. So if we brought something to the table that wasn't gelling with everybody, we wanted the honesty to critique it and let us know what everybody thought about the song. And in doing so, I think it set a tone, and that really helped with the choosing the songs and even the songs that we chose for the record to make them as good as they could possibly be. So the honesty, it felt like a family. If somebody brought home a bad report card, the family wouldn't reprimand them. They would just simply, sit down and say, hey, you got to do better. And it was done out of love. And that's the way it came across. So it was very beneficial, I think, in the end. You want me to start? I think we all have a similar background, that we all started at a young age. I remember at 5 years old, my mother wanted me to take piano lessons. Now at 5 years old, that's the last thing any 5-year-old wants to do, including me. I hated it, just refused to practice on my own. But in the back of my mind, it always stuck with me what I learned at a young age, and we always had a piano around the house, so there was nothing on TV or nothing to do playing with my friends. I'd always tinker on the piano. And later in life, when I decided to be in a rock band, I was actually discouraged. My dad sat me down and he said, don't do this, you're going to regret it, you're not going to be able to have a family, you're going to be traveling all the time, it's a terrible life. Now, it's a terrible life if you want to be a father and have a family, but he was right in the sense that it'd be hard to have the obligations of a family. So in that sense, at that time, I was mad at him, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it in spite of you, But fortunately, things have kind of worked out.
The very first show we did was Cape
Coral.
Florida.
Yeah.
We basically flew in a couple days before the Kiss Cruise just as a warm-up show because we didn't want the very first show to be on the Kiss Cruise in front of the Kiss fans.
Right.
So yeah, we flew into Cape Coral and did this. It's about 1,000-seater, and it's funny because the first 15 seconds of the very first song,
the power went out.
The power went out.
We blew the breaker or whatever, and you know, that movie, This Is Spinal Tap, that happens to every single band. You know, there's elements of that movie that everybody goes through, but our very first show, our very first time ever in front of a live audience, literally, like he said, a few seconds into the song, boom, power goes out, and it stayed out for 10 minutes. Except my microphone was on, but all the guitar amps, you know, they were completely out. So
thank God he can talk to the crowd. That's all I'm saying. He just kept his cool, and he just kept the shit. He could have talked for an hour.